CityCast Philly is brought to you today by Jones Dairy Farm. They're a seventh-generation family-owned and operated premium meat maker with products like dried-aged bacon, all-natural sausage, and America's favorite center-cut Canadian bacon. And they make sausage available in pork, chicken, and turkey. There's no preservatives, additives, MSG, nitrates, fillers, and they only use fresh ingredients. Find out more at jonesdairyfarm.com. That's jonesdairyfarm.com, making breakfast better since 1889. Today on CityCast Philly, lots of restaurants made their debuts in Philly's food scene this year. I'm speaking with Allison Kessler, senior editor, and Candace McLean, senior staff writer, both at The Infatuation, about their favorite new restaurants of 2024, dining trends, and restaurants they're looking forward to for next year. It's Monday, December 16th. I'm Trenae Nuri, and here's what Philly's talking about. Allison, Candace, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Provenance was the top of your list for the best new restaurants of 2024. You gave it a 9.8 rating. I looked on one of the IG posts. You wrote, "It just feels effing great." You gotta tell me the deets. How did this hidden place knock your socks off?
So yes, Provenance got our highest rating of all time, which makes it the best new restaurant of the year, but also our best restaurant in Philadelphia right now. We really have nothing else like it. It is super luxe, super over the top, 25 courses, only 11 seats at a bar. It sort of feels omakase style. Techniques are French, super sophisticated, but there's influences from Korean food and Japanese food as well. It's just unlike anything else we have in Philly, and it's delicious every time. So for a special occasion, it's really the best you're going to do here in Philly.
The menu changes weekly?
Yeah, the chef likes to go to the Head House Farmers Market. When he finds new stuff he likes there, he incorporates it into the next menu. So if you go once and you go a few weeks later, it'll be similar, but there will be some shifts. So if you go every few months, you'll definitely have a brand new menu.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And let's talk about that price point. How much per person?
So I believe it's $225 per person, and that's before the wine pairing, which is exceptional, but also very pricey. You definitely don't have to do that to have a great experience. You can just get a glass or two of wine, but it's worth every penny. Honestly, we have so many tasting menus now, so many omakase spots now that are kind of in that price range, and this one is still outstanding.
Nice. Okay. So you also spent 56 minutes waiting for pizza. Tell me about CJ&D's Trenton tomato pie down in East Passyunk.
Yeah, I spent 56 minutes once, and the second time I went, I spent 2 hours plus. So
why? Like, what? Why the heck did you do that? I mean, you could just drive to Trenton and get the pizza.
Well, Trenae, then I'd be in Trenton, But so CJ&D's is inside of Cartesian Brewing in South Philly. They make one pizza at a time. That's why it takes so long.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So you can only order there in person. You can't order ahead. They make 4 styles of pies, all excellent. I think it's the best cheese pizza you're going to find in Philly. Super crispy crust. The tomato sauce is fresh and delicious. It's run by a family, so it actually feels really warm and nice to be there. And you can hang out and have some beers while you wait.
Oh, is it a good thing?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's the best new pizza we found this year. Yeah.
Now, I love a hack. And you say, get one of every style?
You got to get one of every. I mean, if you're waiting 2 hours plus for pizza, just go all in. Invite everybody you know, or only a few people you know, and have a pizza party, but get every kind so you can try it. With wait times like that, you're not going to go weekly. This is not really your neighborhood pizza shop. Plus, they're all delicious. They make a great white pie. On Sundays, they do a vodka sauce style pie if you want to get it maybe during halftime. That's a nice time to go. It's not usually quite as crowded. It's a crowd pleaser.
Tell me about this spot where y'all are fighting over the last empanada.
Oh, El Mictlan.
Yeah.
This is awesome Mexican food, but it's also a little bit fusion food. So it's a super casual BYO. They do make house-made mixers. So if I were you, I would bring your own tequila. They make classics, so well, like empanadas. They make great birria tacos. They made our birria taco guide this year. But they also do some things that you don't really see at most Mexican restaurants. They do tuna tostadas really well. They have a ton of fresh seafood. It's great. And it's really cheap. You can have a really nice date night for around $50, really enjoy yourself and probably take some leftovers with you.
Now, you guys have some other top runners. I want to know more about your rating system. So these are some of the spots that got the 8.6, 8.5 ratings.
Yeah. So how Best New Restaurant works is that we start with openings, right? A new place opens up. And then we go from openings and we really like it. We put it on the hit list, which is the best new restaurants in Philadelphia right now. And through the year, we give it a full review. Ratings come out. So this Best New Restaurants guide is completely off of 8.5s and above, which is that's best of scenarios, crosstown for it. This is a unbeatable experience situation. So there were some contenders who kind of made 8.4 and below, but 8.5 and above is really what this guide is about. Just a full range of cuisines, price points, neighborhoods, and we try to spread it all out.
Candace, what was your favorite on the list?
I'm Amy Pastelillos. I like a little handheld, in and out. They have great soups. And I can just go about my day. Like I like to go and sit in places, but I also like to just get a takeout scenario going and go home back to my couch. And that's it.
And this is Puerto Rican food up in Fishtown.
Yeah, she had a really popular pop-up, first brick and mortar this year. And so we went there a few times. If you go during the week, the line is much shorter than the weekend. And it's only open for a couple hours a day. When you get there, guava pork, top tier bite, the guava pork, and they also have specials running. And so we gave them the best in restaurant. We gave her a trophy, and I saw she posted last week. She said she never won anything in her life, so she was very hype about winning this best in restaurant award scenario.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Now, everything on the list isn't high priced. Tell me about this Nepali Momo Kitchen. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, you are. Yeah, so this is, I would say, maybe 3 or 4 places in the entire city you would probably get in a Momo right now. So they opened this year. It's in Fairmount. And pretty much everything on that menu is probably $25 and under. And each batch in a Momo, you probably get around 8 in each one. Soft, chewy dumpling bites. They have good spice ones, tandoori shrimp, which is a great one. And it's kind of, even though you might think of a Momo as like a cloudy, rainy meal, which is like the weather we're in now, but like it's really all year round. You can have a good, cheap bite, packed with flavor, packed with spice. And that's the only thing on the menu. So they do it right, really well.
This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in places that could expose you to identity theft. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second. If your identity is stolen, their US-based restoration specialist will fix it, guaranteed or your money back. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
This episode is brought to you by FedEx. FedEx knows running a small business is hard enough without the hassle of shipping. That's why there's FedEx One Rate. With FedEx One Rate, you can ship your holiday packages cheaper than the post office for as low as $14.50 for small boxes. Visit FedEx.com/OneRate for details. Exclusions apply. Valid through January 19th, 2025. FedEx One Rate. 2-day retail shipping, one flat rate.
Let's talk about some food trends of 2024. You said Move Over Smash Burger, Thick Burgers have been the front runners this year.
The Thickums.
Royal Tavern, that was probably our favorite new burger of the year. And that's a classic burger. You can do that double. Also, it's really spicy. It has a pepper right on top of it. We're just not seeing so many smash burgers here in Philly like we have across the country. I think we like the classic here.
I think that if we are going to pay money for a burger, we want it to be in the gym. We want it to be Thickums. We don't want it to be a slender little flat earth baby, but we like them thick here.
Now, you did say that citywides are tasting different. What's happening there?
Well, we are having like a huge trend of just variations in citywides. Like if you go to Little Walters right now, you'll see a Polish citywide. You can just go to several restaurants and find clarified, drinks or just citywides that have a different mix, tequila or mezcal or limoncello. So it's not just your average PBR and your shot of whiskey you can't hold with your throat. It's other smoother, better options that will make you feel better in the morning than that duo.
Well, speaking of maybe having to go to the bathroom, you say that the bathrooms are starting to step their game up at restaurants, or I should say restaurants are starting to step their bathroom game up. What's happening there?
I would say that's been, I think Philly always had bathroom character. In my opinion, I think it wasn't a rise for us. Middle Child Clubhouse is a great toilet seat. I'm jealous. I just have a regular toilet seat in my own place. Like, where do I get one with the oyster shell and a Tabasco sauce, please? Even our bars next to Ken, there's a chandelier crystal ball in one of them. So we have bathroom character, and so I think that for a place that we have a lot of bar culture, people have their neighborhood places. It's really good to have a place to sit and think as you wash your hands and do whatever you're gonna do in there. People text in there.
I'm thinking like these are good selfie spots for next year.
Yeah. I mean, we have people put bathrooms with couches. Like, I have an actual phone gallery of interesting bathrooms that in my camera roll that we might have to turn into a guide at some point. But yeah,
I'm hearing. Sure. I think so. What about these seafood towers? They're here to stay.
Oh, seafood towers. Philly's been doing these for a couple years now, really over the top seafood towers like at Pearl and Mary and Mylou. But there's even more raw bars happening, which I think if you're going to have a raw bar, you got to have like a show-stopping seafood tower to go with it. And raw bars are popping up everywhere now. Jaffa Bar just opened from the Cook and Solo group. They have a tower. Little Water just opened. They're from the team behind River Twice. They have a huge platter. I think people just want to show off with shellfish now. It's like all about the fresh seafood and kind of a dining room showstopper.
Okay. Build your ultimate seafood tower, Allison.
Ooh, I got to have a dozen fresh oysters, sweet amalias, if possible. The pickled shrimp from Mylou that comes on their seafood tower. That's probably my favorite bite in the city. So that has to be on there. And then, you want a classic shrimp cocktail. Jumbo shrimp, classic cocktail sauce. That's the way to start a great meal.
Candace?
Crab claw me all day. And it's better that way because, it's the less messier version of just taking a whole crab and going at it. Give me some oysters, give me some crab claws, set it and forget it. I'm done.
How do you guys feel about the trends of this year and even thinking ahead? Like, is 2025 Philly's restaurant scene going to be a scene where, you're going to have to dish out some bucks to eat good?
I think Philly is so good at doing highbrow, lowbrow, really. Like, if you have a special occasion, you have any type of restaurant you want to match. Steakhouses, seafood spots, French, Korean omakase style places. But what we're best at is handhelds, is cheesesteaks, is slices of pizza to go. You can always find something delicious and affordable in Philly. I don't think that we're ever going to lose that.
Yeah. And I also think when you consider the exciting openings coming up early next year, Dance Robot, the Izakaya, which is not going to be as expensive. Honeysuckle's will be back and they're not going to demand, an extreme amount of money. So I do think that there's an awareness about people who are opening restaurants in town that know what Philly is about and what we're going to pay for and what we're not going to pay for. So I do think we'll have a good balance.
You said handhelds. I'm thinking cannolis. All right, you guys recently did some journalism work trying to figure out who's got the best cannoli in the city. Tell me a little bit about that.
I'll talk about this one because we kind of brainchilded this one. So essentially, we do a lot of blind tastings, if our bodies can allow for the moment to happen. And so we wanted to do the best cannoli, and especially around the holiday time. It's a staple in the city. It's our neighborhoods of the city. So we said, let's just go get some bakeries, cannolis, pick them up, bring them down to good old WeWork. Love it. And we did a blind taste test. We had several plates. We set them all up, and then we went in there one by one, had a bite, had 2 bites, had 20 bites, fed each other. So it was very, very wild scene. And we
It got weird.
Okay.
Yeah, it got weird. The sugar, and so then we kind of just broke it down to what we had a list of 8 contenders, and we ranked them from 1 to 8. And so we had the final results, which are out, and I think we got it right. I think we did the right thing, the right sugary thing.
Okay, so what are you looking forward to in 2025?
I think 2025, like I touched on, Dance Robot, Royal Izakaya is one of our, I think it's our second highest rated restaurant on the site. And so Jesse Ito is opening up his Izakaya Dance Robot, 80s themed. I'm going to be there, pitch a tent, first day opening, please. And so
this is pizza, right?
Oh, no, it's a Japanese Izakaya. So
I'm sorry.
And so I'm going to be there 2025. That is one of my favorite restaurants in the city. So I think that for him to branch out and do a Izakaya, it's going to be a really good time.
Allison, what are you looking forward to for next year?
I'm excited for this new seafood wave, pun intended, that's happening here. I think for so long we've had classics like Oyster House, and there's not really been a ton of other places to go when you want to do the seafood tower or oyster martini thing. I think we're going to see a lot more of that. I'm also really excited for Honeysuckle to be in a much bigger space, and sort of, at least for me, selfishly, it's more convenient to my life. So I can be there more frequently, and more people can get in there. I think that's going to be really big for Philly. Inevitably, I'm sure we're going to have some new pizza contenders on the scene. We already have one in Fishtown, Char Pizza, we're pretty excited about, but they're just getting started. So I'm excited to see what happens there.
Now, what will be the next foodie destination neighborhood for 2025? Is Kensington, Fishtown, Port Richmond, West Philly, North Philly?
Yeah, I think we've seen a ton in Fishtown the past 5 or 10 years, especially these really large scale concepts. But Queen Village has a lot of tiny shops doing really interesting, delicious, fun stuff. Candace is laughing because I happen to live here and I happen to brag to her all the time. Like, last night I went here. This morning I went there.
Forward on.
We just have a ton of stuff going on here for little individual makers and bakers. And so I think Queen Village is really hot right now.
Oh, so give me some of your recommendations.
So there's a new Middle Eastern bakery that just opened at 5th and Passyunk. It's called Majdal Bakery. They have a lot of savory stuff, a lot of barekas that are excellent. But they also have really beautiful tarts, doing seasonal stuff. And it's teeny tiny. So on a Saturday or Sunday, you got to get there early or it's going to be sold out. Let's see. And then in Bella Vista, just outside of Queen Village, there's Pop's Bun Shop.
Yeah.
They're doing sweet and savory buns as well, but their cinnamon buns and sticky buns are pretty life-changing.
I might have got ravenous on the sidewalk, like one. We had a very intimate, icy moment with one, and I was like, wow.
Yep.
Should have went back to my car for that one, but it was I couldn't stop myself.
There's just one more Scampi. It was a pop-up called Couch Cafe, but the chef just opened a week or two ago. Mm-hmm. It's Italian, but it has influences from Thailand and China, and it's just delicious. It's interesting, but it's really small and intimate. So yeah, there's a ton of good stuff around here.
Nice. Allison and Candace, thank you so much for joining me on CityCast Philly today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You can check out The Infatuation's end-of-year food and restaurant reviews and which bakery had the best cannoli at theinfatuation.com/Philadelphia. We'll have a link in the show notes. That's all for today here on CityCast Philly. I always get so hungry after a food episode. If you enjoyed this conversation about Philly's food scene, tell a friend and make some reservations. Also, rate this show, leave us a review, and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to sign up for our morning newsletter, Hey Philly, to learn more about what else Philly's talking about. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Bye.